Merry meet Aquarius, Aquarius sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all Aquarius starting today, the 16th of November, 2024. This is Ariel, and today I'm reading with this Gasman Tarot, and I've already purified with this Ducoc Cologne by Guerlain. Let's see what's in the cards for all you gorgeous Aquarius. Starting with the King of Wands, followed by the Knight of Coins, and then the Devil card. Yay! We love a good Devil card. Let's start with the Devil card. The Devil card, what are you chaining yourself to? What are you chaining yourself to? What do you think has to happen? What are you not opening your mind to? It's not bad. It's not that there's something bad. It's just that you're limiting yourself when you're not allowing yourself to be open to the possibilities. It doesn't have to be a certain way. And especially when it's in this position where you're heading toward the future, thinking, what this tells me is that you're thinking, well, the future is going to have to be like this. It's going to have to be like that. Even if it's good things that it's going to have to be, maybe it doesn't have to be. Maybe it doesn't have to be any of those things. Maybe it can be so much different and so much better that you had no idea what was possible. How about that? How about that you don't tell your future what it has to be? You can be open and receptive to preferences about where you're headed, absolutely. But you don't want to tie yourself. You don't want to tie yourself down even to good things. It looks like a lot of good things. But don't do that thing, Aquarius, where you think, well, if I have to, make sure to direct my life so that I get exactly what I think I need, because exactly what you think you need might not be enough, might not be nearly good enough for you. It's not that the universe is saying that you're asking for too much. The universe is actually telling you that you might not be asking for enough, that there's a lot more available to you than how you might be limiting yourself right now. And where you are is really good. It's not that you're limiting yourself to something bad. You're limiting yourself though, and limitation in and of itself is robbing you of what's possible. Okay? And so where you are is fabulous. Where you are is fabulous. I know some of you might have been a little worried about finances. The help is there. You've got the universe is there. It's helping you. You don't have to worry about it. It's all doing well. But don't project into the future what you think that might look like. Don't project into the future the limitations of what you think that might look like. Allow yourself to be open and receptive to an unlimited good in forms that you aren't capable of visualizing because you don't know about them. That's where we want to have this idea of the futures. My future is not only safe, but my future is abundant. My future is unlimited. My future is fabulous. Okay, this King of Wands is saying you are doing so well with your work. Whatever your work is, you've got it. You've been doing really well with your work. And that's amazing. And as you move forward, like I said, allow yourself to be open to the ideas of the treasures and the benefits that work is going to provide for you that you're not even aware of. You're not even aware of it. You've already set the ground for some amazing things happening in the future. So now you've got to be careful that you're not limiting yourself. Okay. I think I've said that in about 72 different ways. Enough. Okay. 2 of Swords. You've been getting real focused. Ooh. 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 of Coins. So right now, like I said, some of you might be a little worried about money, but you're in the midst of a turnaround. You're in the midst of an upgrade. So there's really nothing to worry about at all. And then this is the other thing. When you are limiting yourself, when you have these closed minded ideas of where you're headed or what you need or how you need to get there, what you do then is you put yourself on the same wavelength as other people that are closed-minded, other people that are limited. And those other people are just going to reflect back to you those limited ideas and reinforce them and say, oh, yeah, you're right. You can't. You can't do any of that. Oh, it's really bad. And that self-perpetuates. And as that self-perpetuates, it can grow. And you don't want to grow your limitations. You want to release your limitations. And so the time to do that is now, before you start reaping the results of whatever it is that you're projecting into the future. Now is when you want to start to say, wait a minute, I'm in the middle of an upgrade. I'm in the middle of a total turnaround. I've got so much going for me. I've got so much that I've been working on. I don't want to limit that. I'm willing for my future to be unlimited. And the sky really is the limit. And the sky will open up for me if I allow it to. But it won't open up for me if I insist that it needs to be a certain way. If I insist that there are problems, if I insist that there are limitations, if I insist that, that things are not working out in the ways that I want them to, or whatever it is, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to come up with these ideas about the future anymore. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to project into the future. And therefore, I'm not going to call for helpers in the future to come and reinforce those limited beliefs to myself. Because a lot of those helpers you wouldn't even recognize them as that if you weren't of that mindset. Those people would be there anyway, and you wouldn't even notice their attitude. It wouldn't even affect you, except for the fact that you're matching their attitude. And so therefore you're going to have a meeting of minds and encounters with them, and they're going to reinforce your limited perceptions and your limited projections about what is possible and where you can go. And then all you get to do is make that story real for yourself. You don't want to make that story real. That's a bad story. You want a good story, the good story based on what's been going on and what you're doing now. You know what I'm saying? So just be aware of that. It may be very subtle, but just be aware of what you're thinking about the future. If you're afraid of the future, if you're really planning your future, if you're really detailing how things must be, stop it. Stop it, because you're not doing yourself any favors. That's your ego. That's your ego mind trying to limit all of the good that is exploding for you right now. There's so much good happening for you. It's like a geyser of good. And your ego likes to stop good from happening because it goes against how it's programmed. The ego wants things to be all about self-destruction. The ego wants to be all about limitation and problems and unsolvable problems. So when you notice that you are orienting yourself in regards to your future toward get ready for the problems, get ready for the whatever you're projecting into the future, just recognize it for what it is. Oh, I get it. The ego's trying to limit my good. And right now my good is unlimited. So I don't want that. I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to do that. And so it's telling you here with this Two of Swords to go back to square one, where you had that nice focus. You were focused on the good. You were focused on your work. You were focused on your purpose in life, why you're here, what you're here to contribute, all of the reasons why you've started all of these things that you're involved in. Those are still valid. This ego idea of, and therefore things have to be things have to be limited in the future. That's not part of this. That's not part of it. So you have to be willing to listen to the subtleties, the slyness of the ego, because it's not going to just come right out and say, I am limiting your future, and here we go, and we want to make sure that your future is limited. It's not going to say it like that. It's going to be sly and subtle. Oh, be careful of blah, blah, blah. You want to make sure you never da-da-da. And just when you notice yourself doing that, when you notice yourself ruminating and projecting into the future about what you think things might be, stop. Just recognize it for what it is and just say, that's just an ego activity trying to limit my future, and I'm not going to stand for it. I have my own mind. I get to choose what I want to think. I'm not going to think like that anymore. And when people come to you that are trying to tell you how limited things must be, or that things can't work out the way you want them, or that you're, whatever it is, however you're getting information from other people about how you can't have what you want, recognize that they're there because they're reflecting back to you your own limitations. And so you can just in your mind say, thanks, but no thanks. I'm not doing that. I'm staying right here where I am, grounded in the realm of limitless possibilities. And financially, things are really working out for you. Even though you might be afraid of your money, things are working out for you. Things are working out beautifully for you. Things are working out for you in your work. It's a beautiful time. So you are in a time that is primed for the ego to want to try to put wrenches in it. Be aware of it so that you just don't do it. Just say no. The ego gets active when things are going well, especially. So things are going well, Aquarius. Don't allow that. Allow yourself to bless your future with unlimited good. And when you notice that you are limiting your future and projecting fears or worries into the future, just notice it for what it is and just say, I'm not doing that. I'm disassembling that thought form right now. And the same thing with other people. When other people try to tell you how bad it is or how you can't have what you want or whatever that is, just in your mind, you don't have to interact with them with this. You can just say thanks for sharing or whatever. But in your own mind, just disassemble yourself from that. Just say, no, I'm not accepting any of that, because there's no reason for it. Your future is unlimited. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and we will see you in a couple weeks for another reading, Aquarius. Until then, blessed be.